I think in our life, in modern lifestyles, we do a lot of redundant work. We're side by side neighbors, and we're all kind of doing the same repetitive tasks.
Yep.
And so a lot of that can be eliminated if you're willing to share some of your life with other people.
Yeah.
So I'm in, a very small community. There's 2 households here. It's a community. It's just very small. We actually have another family moving in very soon. I'm very excited about that.
Yay.
But so there's benefits about the way that I'm living in this very small community right now. I grow food. That's my happy place. I love growing food. And it's my free therapy. And so I grow food. They get free food. They have chickens. So
Perfect.
I get free eggs. And I used to have a foster horse. I don't any longer, but I used to have the horse, and we would share care for the horses, which is great because horses have, require a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So that really minimized that workload. Now, when this new family moves in, the woman loves to cook. She feels like it's her mission in life to feed everybody.
Oh, hallelujah.
And so that is a joy for her.
Yeah.
And for me, it's always a struggle.
Yeah.
It's something that's important to me, but it's always a struggle. So she is going to do something that's very easy for her and include me in her in her cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, how can I provide the same service for you? And she needs a website. It's something that I can do in my sleep. It's something that's easy for me, doesn't cause suffering. And so we have a trade-off there. I will build her a small website and maintain it, and she will feed me all the time. So that saves me and her both time and effort and money.
Yeah.
Now that's, and when we both have kids, so kids sharing in a community is fantastic.
Oh, cool.
As a single mom, I can't tell you how much work it is to raise children. It's hard enough to do it in a nuclear family, much less doing it by yourself. But honestly, doing it in a nuclear family is too hard too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as a species, we've come along in a setting where we have multiple adults and multiple age range of kids all pitching in and doing the work together.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids are so much more well-rounded because they have so many more minds to download information and models to pull from. And so that's going to be really interesting too when we have more people here to kid share with. It's already fantastic to kid share with the one family, but I'm really excited to expand that because the new family moving in, they have 4 kids. So that'll be really interesting. Now you can scale up that model. There's actually a community not very far from you. You're in Virginia, and they're called Twin Oaks, and they're on 450 acres.
Oh,
and
wow.
They have 90 adults and 15 kids last I checked. And so they only work 42 hours a week, and then the rest of their time is theirs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like their level of commitment and sharing to one another is greater than what I'm experiencing in my community, but they get more benefits out of it. So somebody there is doing all their cooking, all their cleaning, all their grocery shopping, all their personal shopping, building their houses, like all that's being taken care of. Because of their level of sharing, which is something that I would actually absolutely love to do in the future. I do love the situation right now, but ultimately I would love to have more of a level of sharing so that there's even more benefits that come from it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're opening my eyes to something that I think is really exciting. I mean,
yeah, and what's really interesting is at Twin Oaks, they their cost per living per person per year is only like $7,000. It's ridiculous. Now, they're not in individual tiny houses, so it's a little bit different. They have co-housing, several dorms set up. They probably have like 10 different buildings. 7 of them are living housing or for living in, and then the other ones are no, there's more than 10. And they have other ones that are for like large commercial kitchens and dance halls and play areas, and they have a tofu factory for their income, and a hammock making factory for income, and like a farm for income. So and visitor quarters as well. So it's a really cool setup.
I can see that being really beneficial. We no longer live in a tiny house. We're here in a little neighborhood. Our house is 660 square feet, and most of the houses in this neighborhood are about that size. And yet every single one of us has the lawnmower and the weed eater. And just the waste and redundancy of that when there could be one, and maybe that's one person's job to go around and mow all the yards and somebody else is doing snow removal. I mean, there's a million ways that could work, and I could really get behind somebody else mowing my yard.
Absolutely. I hear you. All the things that cause you suffering, somebody else likes to do. That's
Yeah.
actually brings up a really interesting point because at Twin Oaks, it's an all volunteer economy. So
Yeah.
you're picking the jobs that you like.
Oh, cool.
So like for the girl that's the woman moving in, cooking is her passion, is her joy. So it doesn't feel like work for her. And so somebody absolutely loves to be outside mowing the lawn. And there's people that love to scrub toilets, believe it or not. People volunteer for that job at Twin Oaks.
Yeah.
The only thing that people don't volunteer for, ironically, which I would have no problem doing, I don't know why this is always an issue, is dishwashing. So every 2 weeks or so, you'll get an hour dishwashing session as part of your 42 hours. Um, yeah, and to talk about the other point that you brought up, everybody having a lawnmower.
Yeah.
They have one of the ways that they're able to keep the cost down so much is they have a series of libraries. So we're accustomed to going to a book library and checking out a book.
Yep.
They have a series like tool libraries, bike libraries, car libraries, and even like music instrument libraries, and even a clothes library. So like they have one building that the whole top floor is just clothes. So you can have your own private clothes and do your own laundry if you'd like, but you can also go to the communal closet, and you could go never wearing the same outfit twice if you wanted to.
Wow.
Like almost your entire life. So it's just a completely different way to look at everything, you know?
Yeah. Wow, that's exciting. I love kind of that whole thing about tiny house living, that it attracts people who live outside the boxes of life.
Yeah.
And that's definitely outside a box of life. And I love it. I just really love even hearing about it.
Yeah, it's outside of the box of life now, but if you look like through like evolutionarily, we're living quite outside the box now. We're on this like especially in the West, we have a much more individualistic society. There are places it's still in modern times that are a more cooperative society, but we're on a very much individualistic streak. Independence, that's like the theme that we have in the U.S.
I think so many of us have a sense of isolation that's actually coming from our house, a sense of being disconnected from other people that actually is because our houses are too big and we don't get to live with a grandmother. We don't get to live with all those other perspectives close by and close knit. So, like you said, so many places in the world that family unit stays together. That whole community of immediate family stays together in one place. But when every member of the family has a building of their own, then automatically there's built in this kind of isolation, and that can lead to depression. So it's interesting that we've gone this way. It is not really on our favor, you know?
Yeah, I agree. There's actually some happy index studies being done on Twin Oaks. So at Twin Oaks, you might not be related to the people that are there, but so they're kind of somewhere between, immediate family and extended family. They fall somewhere on that range. And I think like a way to term what you were talking about is like we've really just like diluted our village.
Yeah.
So now like instead of having really having a lot of community glue with the people that are most important to our lives, they can be on the other side of the world or the country or across town or something, and then so it has a compounding effect when we have like so many loose ties or like stretched ties on our happiness. Absolutely. And even just being in my house, sometimes I feel isolated now before I lived here, but now like I can go outside, and that's something that should be brought up about Twin Oaks. Everybody in Twin Oaks, whether you are a couple or not, if you're married or not, everybody gets their own room there because it's their place of refuge, their sense of privacy, because that can be something that might feel a little bit lost in a communal setting. But they always have these places where people can be together too. So here, and now that I'm in a community, I actually have a sign on my door that says like visitors welcome, and I can flip it over on the other side that says recharging, please come back later.
Oh,
and so we all have that on here. And so when I'm feeling lonely, I just flip that sign, and there's going to be a kid at my door in like 3 seconds. And, that I can talk to and play. I love playing with kids. It's really fun. And we also have all the common areas that we can go out, or I can go over to their house or anything. And so that sense of like loneliness is really gone.
Mm-hmm. We're always talking about intentional living, purpose, and contentment. It's so much fun. I put together these conversations in an online virtual summit. You can see the rest of this conversation and a whole bunch more at simplifymy.life. By the way, it's all free. That's really cool, right?
Click the Learn More button when you get there, and that will show you the dates. Mark your calendar, register to save your seat, and I will see you at the summit. Don't miss a thing. This information is so exciting, and I'm so passionate about this topic because what it does is it takes us out of overwhelm into clarity and contentment and confidence, and that's really exciting for me, and that's what I want for you. So thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Go check out simplifymy.life now and register. See you at the summit. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.